Greg Hurst.
And I'm Allison Ross. Next on News 8 tonight, the story from court of a San Diego police officer, his murdered wife, and their troubled marriage.
Plus, covered, justice in this country takes time. It also takes a lot of money. The 6 Triani murder-for-hire trials make that perfectly clear. Those trials have cost San Diego County taxpayers $3 million so far. Taken alone, Laura Triani's unsuccessful defense cost more than $1 million. Prosecutors say there were some outrageous defense costs. Triani's public defender disagrees. Miller was killed today in East San Diego when he was hit by a furniture truck. The little boy, who was about 2.5 or 3 years old, was playing in the alley when the truck went by. We're told the child was behind some trash cans, so the driver didn't see him. And when he did try to stop, it was too late. The child's name has not been released. Bet lots of Lotto playing going on around the state, and for a very good reason. Tomorrow night's jackpot will set a North American record. Right now it stands at $57 million, but it's expected to climb to $60 million by tomorrow. The reason for the big jackpot? No one has picked all 6 numbers in the past couple of Lotto games. 30 million tickets should be sold tomorrow alone, and if no one wins that, the jackpot could double to $120 million.
Closed since October 20th to its 1,000 tenants and the public, the 24-story Great American building's doors are open once again. An electrical problem that caused 2 fires and several evacuations has apparently been fixed. Otherwise, fire officials and the Federal Occupational Safety and Health Administration wouldn't have approved the reopening.
In all probability, there will be citations and fines resulting from the inspection. However, it's still ongoing and still a couple weeks away from final conclusions.
Stay with us because there's still much more to come, including Ted's Son of Sports and Larry's outdoor weather.
Take them. A line of credit from Wells Fargo Bank is like a loan that you can use again and again over the years.
I'll take it.
And never pay interest till you actually spend the money.
I'll take it.
We'll take it.
Wells Fargo's opened more lines of credit for more Californians than any other bank. Take it from the experts. Wells Fargo Bank, still coming through.
Party's over. It's time to pay the piper. Last spring, we got an extra hour of sunshine, daylight saving time, but it's time to fall back to standard time. Officially, daylight saving time ends at 2 a.m. Sunday, so at 2 o'clock Sunday morning, set your clocks back an hour. Remember the old rhyme, spring forward and fall back.
A vote of encouragement and confidence. Thank you very much. I don't know if you have, I know Greg does, and I do, and several others do, have a subscription to Sports Illustrated or read the magazine on a regular basis. Whichever. I'm going to assume you did not read the article about a former South Carolina football player who made it perfectly clear through page after page of not just writing but testimony that he had taken steroids while he played defensive line for South Carolina during his 4 years there, and made it perfectly clear that the South Carolina coaching staff, the strength coach, the team trainers, the team doctor, everyone knew exactly what was going on. And it wasn't just this kid. He says at least 50 of the 100 kids playing in the South Carolina football program during his 4 years. At any one time, 50 of the 100, by advanced calculus, that's half, were also using steroids. And everybody knew about it. But see, the bottom line here is they're not there to educate kids. They're not. They get an education, they get an education. They're not worrying about injuries that might debilitate them for years and years, might kill them. In the case of steroids, with liver disease and diabetes and impotence and all the other things, and cancer that have been proved to come from the use of steroids. And if you don't follow sports that closely, this builds muscle, unusual amounts of muscle in a very short period of time, and that's why kids, to get an edge, not just kids, they do it in the National Football League too, lots of them, to beat the competition, to get a better job, to be a better football player, no matter what it does to them. And what amazed me is not only did they do nothing about this kid who wrote the article or anyone else, because they wanted to win football games and keep the coaches' jobs. Why, that's the most important thing, right? Keep the coaches happy, employed, with their great shoe contracts and their television and radio shows and all that stuff, and keep the moron alumni happy. And all they care about is, I went to a win in football school. That's very important. What amazed me of this entire article is that this young man, this defensive tackle, said he had a physical exam for football one of those years. And the team physician said, have you ever had high blood pressure and a heart murmur? And he said, no. And the doctor said, well, you have one now. And he knew it was from the steroids, which is a couple of the local byproducts, high blood pressure and a heart murmur, and he continued to play with that. So obviously the physician gave him the exam, knew about his heart murmur and the high blood pressure and the steroids, knew he could kill himself on the football field for good old glory of South Carolina, and the physician said nothing to the head coach. Or if he did, nothing was done about it, and all these kids with the high blood pressure and the other defects from steroids were allowed to play football. If this is not one of the most classic, all-time classic indictments of the college football factory syndrome, you tell me what is. What price? Winning. Back shortly.
Thanks, Allison. I thought I could scare you. I thought you might have thought I ran out without getting a chance to put my makeup on for the backyard weather. Actually, it's front yard weather. We're in the front yard of the Sunset Hills Elementary School in Rancho Penasquitos. We're going to be talking to some of these kids in a second. We're going to be talking about these pumpkins that have won prizes in a pumpkin carving contest. We're also going to show some snow and talk about a cloudy, cold weekend, I'm sorry to say, after this.